So it is a typical day here in Costa Rica. I'm wrinkled, buttonless, holy, and uncombed, unwashed. So here we're going to go. If you don't know who I am, I'm Susanna Kamar. I used to write a column called No Longer Quivering for Pathos. For 10 years, I wrote about all kinds of evangelical type situations like the IBLP, Bill Gothard. I also used to write about some ridiculous Duggar things. And I got to where I was pretty much done with the damn Duggars by the time I got done writing all of this. But every now and then, I find myself having to talk about the Duggars and explain them to people. So that's what we're going to do today. I was looking at Renell Smith's videos earlier, and I had a couple of thoughts about the Amy Duggar King thing. And she's making me laugh this morning because she's so thirsty for attention that she ended up doing an interview with the Daily Mail. And you can guess who probably set that up for her. Somebody we all know and dislike that seems to be in the Daily Mail's back pocket, that has gotten quoted a number of times, has probably tried to sell stuff. Hey, Kentucky girl, so good to see you. So I feel it almost like I can actually do this again. I'm no longer crying over my house or my knee or my arm. So here we go. Amy. Okay. Amy, since the day she showed up on the Duggar television show, 19 Kids in the County, you could just tell how thirsty that girl is. It's kind of like, hey, cool. I always expected her to end up on OnlyFans, something like that, because once you start trying to get attention, it is a slippery, slidey slope down to something crazy. She claims she didn't know about the IBLP or what they believed. Hey, Jesh, how are you doing? So she claims she didn't know, which I have to say bunk and stuff, because the Duggars clearly had all that stuff sitting out and around. I mean, if those of us watching, oh, I'm doing well, Chesh. I was doing horrible. Now I'm doing well. I'm even getting ready to start doing art again. I'm getting ready to paint again. Got using my right arm back. So we are golden. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm like, yes, art. I'm full of myself this morning. So the Duggars have never made any secret. Those of us who watch a show with mounting horror noted that they were using Bill Gothard's wisdom booklets. If you ever have a few hours to spend, I'll have to show you some sometime, Chesh, because I paint all kinds of things in oils. The IBLP booklets are available online, and the Duggars are the same old Cheshire. That's what I'm going to talk about. Amy is trying to use the same old to get attention. That's why I was yelling, hey, Kool-Aid earlier. She needs attention bad, apparently. The ATI wisdom booklets, you can find those anywhere online, and they're all over the place. You can take a look at them, and the science is crazy. It's not even remotely what science actually is. And they conflate all these different things to moral failings. I think the one that made me laugh the hardest was winking was a type of seduction. And I didn't realize how deep that went till I was talking to the youth pastor of the Methodist church where I went. And we were talking about something to do with the pastor. And when we went into the meeting later, the pastor said the thing that we were waiting for. And I winked at the guy just to say, hey, look, I heard. Here we are. Let's jump in and talk to him. Hey, autistic. So I found out later that the grapevine was very upset with me because I was being seductive. So that's the sort of thing that's in the ATI booklets. I just want to riff on that for a second. But Amy she's been relatively quiet. And then she attended Josh Duggar's lawyer's sister's funeral. I know, but it's Arkansas and everybody's interrelated as far as their relationships go. I'm not saying they're actually inbred. And I get it. It's small town. I lived in a small town for so many years, and I lived in a small town after being a big city girl. So it's kind of a different vibe. You can see what's going on, and you're looking, going, "Oh no, you didn't." So she came out and she talked about Amy Duggar. Her mama started doing a video and started throwing crap at Anna. And somebody we know all seized upon that and said that meant that Anna was complicit. She was covering for Josh. She knew what Josh was doing. That she wasn't some kind of silly little woman who didn't know. And I vote for the silly little woman that didn't know thing, because I've seen this again and again in my old evangelical church. And even if you do know, you tell yourself, oh, it's just temporary. He's just had gone through a phase. I know somebody in my old church, I've talked about this before, whose husband was essaying the children. And it still took a couple of years of therapy before she even saw that she needed to divorce this guy. So I'm not at all surprised that Anna is standing by her man. That's what you're trained to do. You do it. And it takes therapy and intention to get that out and be able to do the right thing. Our pastor leaned on this lady to get her to leave. So Amy was talking about Anna in the most disgusting terms and saying, hey, love my grands, I am so shocked. She's so angry. I expect her to be angry. Her husband is locked up. Her husband is locked up in another state. She's probably still believing that he's innocent. Lord knows what he's told her about his SA convictions. Well, SA possession, he didn't actually do it. He possessed corn from somebody else that did it. So that's not good either. So Josh is away. He's getting his just rewards. The other day, the courts shot down Josh's appeal. He's not going to be allowed to make an appeal. He can appeal his appeal, I guess. I think from what I've read, prisoners can be tying up the legal system for years on that crap. Yeah, so there's that. So she was talking all this trash about Anna. Our least favorite YouTuber seized upon that and made video after video after video. Then suddenly we have Amy and her fame-horn ways talking to the Daily Mail about how shocked she was and how she didn't know. Oh, thank you, Autistic. Thank you so much. Goes to my yarn fund. How shocked she was that all this had gone down, and how the Duggars theology trained up SA types of guys. Weirdest place with a family friend dynamics. You never know who's related or not. I grew up in Louisiana, so I feel that hard. Especially in Cajun town where everybody's all interrelated. We're all interrelated, and it's like, why do we have Tay-Sachs syndrome in our family? We're not even Jewish. Well, we're inbred. So all this is going on in Arkansas, like I said. And Amy got a lot of pushback for the stuff she was saying about Anna. And she should. Everyone should leave Anna alone. You should leave Amy alone too. But apparently they got her pushback, so she's making apology videos and explaining herself. And yeah, these things never change. These things are always the same for some reason. And I think that Amy is going to be riding the Duggar train, trying to gain some fame and dollars for as long as she can. If there's one thing I know about the Duggars, it's that people that wish to exploit them are going to keep doing that. I used to write about them all the time for No Longer Quivering, and I got really, 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 really tired of it. It was just ridiculousness all the time. Unnamed Duggar insiders contacting you left and right. Yeah, Chesh. Contacting you left and right with all these different rumors, and I never used any of them unless I could actually confirm it. If I could talk to someone and confirm it or see evidence of it, then I would talk about it. If I talked about it all, I would say unnamed Duggar insiders are saying this rumor. But not everybody does that, as we well know. And the Duggars can be a cash cow if you are trying to make money online. Journalistic integrity. Yeah, no. Stupid me. So, yeah, it is too reasonable, and it is not allowed here. What's my husband doing? He's got his motorcycle. Geezer rider, I guess. He's out there doing that. So he's zooming. He's getting ready to zoom. You grew up in Louisiana too? Alexandria. Okay. Yeah. I grew up all over the place between Baton Rouge and New Orleans. I have relatives still everywhere down there. So then Amy goes even further. She gives this interview, and it's largely uninteresting stuff that we all know. And she claims that she didn't know that was going on. Girl, we've seen Amy try to be a country singer, try to run a fashion shop. We've seen her take all kinds of actions and make herself so Duggar adjacent so she can make money. Like I said, I knew people at Pathos that would say, "Come on, Josh, reoffend. Mama needs a new car." I knew people that would say that crap. And one time I told somebody very facetiously, because they were asking me about my coverage of Duggars, I said, I like to sell rumors to the tabloids for $50,000 a month. And I was rolling my eyes when I was saying this and making it very clear it was sarcasm, and the person took it as seriousness. Pearl River, Louisiana. Yeah, that is a place I have certainly rolled through enough times in my life. And it's a whole different world down there. Louisiana is not like any other state of the union. It's just very weird. And actually, I find myself dealing okay in a foreign country because of having been raised in Louisiana with more European attitudes than being raised in Virginia, where I lived for many years, with very parochial attitudes about everything. So Amy is trying her best. So then she exposed that she is exactly like the Duggars. They have the exact same ideology, exactly the same. Oh, Cactus. Yeah, she's right here, one of them. I'll say hi to her. Watch, I'm gonna make her merp. Merp. Yep. So she exposed this crazy as theory about the government aliens. Now, I don't know if you've been keeping up with the government releasing information a little bit about aliens. I'm a believer. I always have been a believer in the fact that there are extraterrestrials out there. I've seen some crazy things that wasn't just me smoking pot back in the 70s. Just or skip the dish. Yeah. Skip the dishes while listen. I got to do the same. So she's talking about the alien thing being a government conspiracy. Girl, this is straight out of Duggartown. That's one thing that always amused me in my old church was some of the conspiracy theories I would hear. Occasionally I would list the crazier ones because I had enough life in the real world before I went to a quiverful church that I knew a lot of the stuff they were talking about was just incredibly stupid. There was no way it could happen. A good example was Y2K. And I loved that this season of hey T King, I love that this season of The Righteous Gemstones addressed the Y2K thing and how the evangelicals handled it. The taco churches did not handle it well. What they did was they exploited their members. They said, you need to buy this, this, and this, because it's the end of the world as we know it. And I may not know much, but it even says in the Bible that nobody knows the day or the time when the world ends. And I had a hard time believing that a number on a calendar was going to be the end of this world. Not only that, the whole computer industry, I knew how they were handling this. So sure enough, nothing happened. But everybody I knew in my old church was clipping so hard they bought generators and cases of toilet paper and tuna and all kinds of crazy stuff. So they addressed that on the Righteous Gemstones. This is another Y2K, the whole alien thing. And you're going to hear more and more and more and more about that. I don't know if you're aware of this, but when Kennedy was killed, when JFK was killed, John F. Kennedy, he had been talking about releasing the information that the federal government had on UFO activity. And I remember being a little kid and one of my father's pilot friends getting locked up in the mental hospital because he claimed to have seen a UFO. I just know too many people have seen them. I've seen them twice myself. There's something else out there. And I can't understand for the life of me why people like Amy, who have the same theology as the Duggars, think that their God, if he is all they're saying he is only interested in planet Earth. I can see that if there are other planets, God is probably active there too. And what that looks like, I don't even know. But it just makes me think that there's more out there than we could ever hope to gain and see. So who knows? Who knows where that's going to lead? But John F. Kennedy had been talking about releasing all information when he was killed. And while I'm not saying that he was bumped off to keep that information still under lock and key, all I can say is there were a lot of people that wanted him dead, and maybe there were scientists, who knows? Government types. But I'm not a conspiracy theory person. I'm one of these people where if it sounds like a duck, it walks like a duck, it's got a bill and a tail, I call it a duck. I don't invent some new theory for it. But the fact that Amy is going there with this makes me think that she is using the exact same theology as the Duggars. I'm sure she's KJV only, King James Version. She's going to a Baptist type church. She's just not following Bill Gothard, whereas her aunt and uncle are. That's the only real difference. And the man-made rules are different. You know, in Bill Gothard, you can't even wear pants. I'd show you mine. I'm wearing my leggings, which is fundamentalist kryptonite, apparently. And they really hate leggings. Of all pants, leggings are really evil. Knitter, please. If you ever wanted me to be showing my rear end in regular pants, it might be a problem. I love yoga pants because they're kind of leggings. They're kind of like the girdles of the 1960s. So I'm watching all this going on with Amy and seeing it's just same song, different day. Amy's trying to make money on the backs of her cousins. She is being she is being manipulated by her best friend, who we all know and dislike. I believe in aliens. There's no way we're the only species in the universe. I just think I don't see how we could possibly be the only species in the entire universe. I just don't see it. Now, do I think every planet is brimming with Martians? No, because like I saw Rob Bell teaching one time where he explained all the things that had to line up perfectly for there to be life on Earth. And it's like a huge long shot, but that doesn't mean there are other planets out there that also beat that curve and ended up with the species. So I'm open to that. And what that looks like and what it means, who knows? Who knows? But I was always going to talk about aliens. I don't even think I ever did here about UFOs because I've seen them twice. I saw them once when I was about 13. There were a lot of UFO sightings in Louisiana that year, and I saw them when I was out in the field walking around late one night. And I saw one after I moved here, where I was waiting for a friend near the airport, and I was watching the planes coming in, going out, coming in, going out. until I saw this weird silver thing that was moving in ways that planes don't move and then shot off. And I was like, holy cow, that thing is in broad daylight near an airport. What? And I don't even know if they caught it on radar. I've also seen photos from one of the topography mapping planes that Costa Rica was using back in the 70s before they filled in Lake Arenal. There's a huge man-made lake in Arenal called Lake Arenal. It's beautiful. There's a volcano on the side. They caught pictures of UFOs flying over that valley before it was flooded. So what all that means, I don't know. But I know one thing. It means that Amy Duggar believes the same thing as her cousin. She just doesn't believe in the molestery parts or don't wear shorts or leggings. That's it. Most of it is very similar. I would love to sit down and question Amy about her beliefs, but I know that's out of the question since I am persona non grata with her friend. So I'm just going to have to settle for doing stuff like watching Renelle Smith's video, which was excellent this morning, breaking down all the problems with Amy and all the stuff she's been saying and doing lately. So there you go. Same theology. They both belong to taco churches, I'm pretty sure. I'm sure that they're all belonging to regular Baptists. And we've seen lately that the Southern Baptists have had a reckoning when it comes to SA. It's not pleasant. They still haven't worked through it. They're still trying to shut down female victims. And that's one of the shameful parts of evangelicalism, as far as I'm concerned. Believe victims, listen to them. And when you listen to them, take the time to make the correct changes to correct whatever the situation is. Okay, you guys, I am going to go. I've got stuff to do today. One of which is try to find somebody to fix my air conditioner in my bedroom. We had a guy out here. I got to explain this real quick. If you move to Costa Rica, you have to really watch who you bring in for repairs. And this goes along with my whole evangelical thing. There was a guy we ran into in the grocery store about a month ago that my husband knew from a church and said, hey, so-and-so, I'm going to call him Jose because I'm not going to name somebody. I'm going to call him Jose because it's a common name here. Hey, Jose, how you been? Well, Jose started talking about his wonderful miracle church. And I went and took a look at the website later. It is the S show, that church. And the mildest thing about them is they go to a lot of Rodney Howard Brown conferences, and they believing for miracles, and they're rolling on the floor with holy laughter and doing the whole 9 yards of the weirdness, which I used to even do back in the day. So I was like, no, talk to the hand. I'm not going to church. Well, he started telling my husband, it's like, I do air conditioning. I do it. And I could fix your air conditioning. Well, our air conditioning went out and gave a weird code, the one in the bedroom. It's kept flashing E1 and it wouldn't work. So my husband brought him in and he said, oh, the only thing wrong with it is it's dirty. We got to clean it. So they cleaned it. I didn't get E1 messages anymore. It started shutting off and doing one called H3. Hey, so my husband called him again and said, WTF, man, we paid you to fix it. You cleaned it. You said it was nothing with it. Now we got this H3 code and it comes as a rock. It melted all over our bed. I had some massive cleanup to do. And we weren't thrilled. So the guy came back out and said, well, I checked the sensors and everything is fine. Well, he kept having to call this place we used before. It was quite expensive and asking them about it. So I told my husband, I said, I told you the first time, he doesn't know what in the hell he's doing. So now it's doing E1 again and shutting off. So I just had a conversation with my husband. It's like, do not call Jose. Jose doesn't know what the heck he's doing. We're not doing Jose again. So now I got to get on the line and find somebody who's not Jose. And I'm going to have to call the air conditioner repair shop where the guy knows what he's doing, and he charges gringo prices, unfortunately. You guys have a wonderful day. Love you.